Hey guys, Judd here. I thought I'd go over the planar tracking that we're doing for the visual effects class. We're basically tracking a new user interface into this iPod screen using a planar tracker via Mocha, which is a really great planar tracker. The big difference between a planar tracker and a point tracker, like the built-in visual or the built-in After Effects trackers, is that planar tracker will actually take this whole area into account. A point tracker would rely on trying to keep track of these, basically a single pixel right here. So planar tracker is much more, a much better way of tracking. So anyway, let's switch over to Mocha and get this loaded up. Mocha comes with After Effects. I think it started After Effects CS4. There's an even better version of it in CS5. But we'll use the CS4 version for right now. Basically, you want to go under File, New Project, and we'll load up our clip, which is right here, Track Footage Background. All this should be just fine the way it is. Overwrite that because I was checking it earlier. These are basically the length of the clip settings and all that sort of thing. All this should just be fine the way it defaults to. This next screen, however, you can change basically your color space and that sort of thing. We won't worry about that for now. The one thing that you do have to make sure you check is the frames per second, because for some reason it defaults to 10. So we want to go to the frame rate of our footage, which is 2997 in this case. So we'll hit finish and that will load up. So basically, creating the planar tracker is pretty easy. We're just going to, track this screen right here. So we're going to go up and go with X-splines. I really like the X-splines over the Bezier splines, just because for me they're easier to work with. They're really kind of nice. You just kind of outline this real quick. You don't even have to be that, exact with it. It's pretty easy. And then you just right click to close it. Now basically with X-splines, the way these work is these little handles control how big that curve is. So if you want it to be a tight corner, you pull it all the way out. If you want it to be more curvy, you push it in. Anyway, so that's that. I'm just going to adjust this slightly. I mean, it'll be pretty much fine the way it is, but I like to be a little more precise. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we actually want to go ahead and run the tracker. These buttons right here control your tracker. One is track to the next frame. The other one is track forwards. So that's what we're going to do, is just click the track forward, and that'll track this the screen all the way through, and that'll just take a second. As you can see, it's really doing a nice job of tracking. And this will just take a second. I'm going to pause the video while we wait for the rest of this to track. No sense watching all this. Okay, now our track is done, and with any luck this should lock on there pretty good, and it looks like it does. And just play through this and make sure. Now you may have to go through, depending on how good your track was and all that sort of thing, you may have to go through and tweak things a little bit. But this track looks alright for now. The next thing we need to do, and pardon me for switching back and forth between After Effects, for some reason Mocha flakes out on me a little bit and I have to keep switching back and forth when my mouse won't click. The next thing we need to do is actually turn the surface on, which will give us this little blue box. Now this is where our UI that we're creating in After Effects is actually going to be tracked into this screen, doing a 4-point corner pin. And basically, the nice thing about Mocha is when you're adjusting your points here, it'll actually give you a close-up up there in the upper left, showing you exactly where the pixel is that you're pointing to. So we'll go ahead and adjust these 4 real quick. to the corners. And these you want to actually be pretty accurate on, because this is where our UI is going to go in. Now if we play this, this should actually track pretty good. There's a little bit of a off there. I'm going to go back and adjust it to that. Looks like it's okay here, but since most of it's off here, I'm just going to adjust it for here for now. You know, if you're doing a really good job of tracking, you'll want to go back and adjust your trackers and that sort of thing to make sure that that doesn't give you that issue. But I'm just, for the sake of time, I'm going to leave it as it is right now. And that's basically the Mocha part of it. Now basically we need to get this track back into After Effects. So what we'll do is we'll go to Export Tracking Data, copy to Clipboard, and that should take it into After Effects. Okay, inside After Effects, what you want to do is we're going to paste the tracking data into your user interface screen. This is my fancy little interface. Hopefully you'll do a much better job than just that temporary thing. Now if you find that paste doesn't seem to work, or paste is grayed out under the edit menu, apparently there's a problem with After Effects. Sometimes it won't take the clipboard to be able to paste it, and the only fix is to quit out of After Effects and start it back up, reload your project, and then you should be able to paste without any problem. So we're going to go ahead and paste the tracking data, and then if it all worked the way it's supposed to, your lovely user interface should be right there, tracked away, just like that, only hopefully much better. Anyway, that's the basics of the 4-corner pin tracking with Mocha. You know, do your best and make a really cool user interface and that sort of thing, so you can really rock it. And you know, I'm not going to go into rotoing out the finger and all that sort of thing. Hopefully you guys should know how to do that by now. Anyway, enjoy, and see you in class.